What's going on, good people? So, Bungie dropped more Strand news, more Lightfall news. Yesterday, it was a preview into Strand for all classes. So, first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and jump into this trailer reaction, and then they got a bunch of text breaking it down. So I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Let's jump right into it. Alright, y'all, here we go.
Strand flows through you
Oh, Osiris?
as it flows through everything.
Ooh,
Now is the time to lean into using Strand.
look at the
Not back
hunter.
away from it.
Oh my gosh. Brood Weaver Warlock. Whoa. Look at that. Titan just mopping everybody. Ooh. Ooh, look at the hunter. Oh my gosh. Ninja time. Straight ninja time.
Embrace where the current takes you.
Oh, look at the supers. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Looking very melee focused, very like just putting more damage together, stringing more damage from threadlings and all of this stuff. Anyway, let's get into what all that actually means before I get a little too hyped. Alright, so now into the explanation of all of this, y'all. I went through this for y'all to save you some time. So, deadly definitions. To understand Strand, let's first start with some vocabulary. Creating an object using Strand is weaving. Defeating an enemy affected by Strand will unravel them. Creating a tangle left behind after a Strand debuff enemy is defeated. A tangle is a swirling bundle of strand fibers. These bundles of strand explode when shot, causing area damage to nearby enemies. Guardians can also pick up tangles and throw them to deadly effect. Okay, so creating something with strand is weaving. That's the word they want you to know. Defeating an enemy with something from strand is unravel. That means they unravel. That's the next word. And then it creates a tangle. That's the next buzzword. All right, so on the debuff side, there are 3 new terms to know. Suspend. A suspended PvE enemy is lifted off the ground for a brief duration and is essentially disabled. In PvP, suspended players are lifted off the ground but can still move, albeit slowly, and fire their weapon to fight back. Then unravel. Attacking an unraveled enemy will cause threads to burst out of the target and attack other nearby targets. Once hit, that target will also become unraveled. So this sounds like Strand is going to be a really big ad management kind of class. And then there's Sever. A Sever enemy is less capable of affecting the material world, reducing their damage output as a result. Alright. The major buff coming with Strand is Woven Mail. With this ability, the Guardian is sheathed in a protective mesh of Strand matter, reducing incoming damage. Note that in PvP, Woven Mail will only reduce damage taken on the body. Head damage and melee damage will continue as normal. Oh boy. Alright, one of the most exciting new abilities in Guardian Strand Toolkit is the grapple. Yes, we want to be spider person up in here. With this ability, players can press the grenade button and their guardian will weave a hook from strand matter which they can grab onto an anchor point. The grappling hook will then begin contracting, pulling the guardian along. Strand's grapple can create its own grapple points out of thin air, so you can always propel yourself through the sky even if there's not a solid surface to latch onto. Guardians will also be able to execute melee strikes during or at the end of a grapple, known as a grapple melee, which will deal bonus damage, unravel an enemy, and push them backwards. Damn, yo, it's like the mobility and ad management is about to be crazy with these subclasses. Alright, so here's a little breakdown of the Warlock Broodweaver. To understand how warlocks will bend strand to their will, you have to first understand threadlings. Threadlings are explosive minions, them little crawling things you saw, woven from strand matter. The Warlock Broodweaver is more in tune with threadlings than the other classes. All threadlings will run forward, jump on enemies, and explode, but only the Warlock's threadlings will return to the Warlock and travel with them if they can't find a target. Alright, let's say I have 3 threadlings and I only need two of them to defeat an enemy. If I'm a Warlock, that last one is going to run back, hop onto me, and condense down into a form that is orbiting me, which is known as perching. Then the next time I attack an enemy, it will pop off and attack that same enemy. But it's not just in summoning and wielding threadlings that Warlocks excel. With their strand melee attack, Warlocks cast Arcane Needle, a deadly projectile which tracks targets, causing high damage and unraveling them upon impact. Warlocks will be able to quickly chain 3, I said again 3, Arcane Needle attacks in a row. Warlocks have 2 strand aspects to utilize, and it's here where threadlings once again enter play. Alright, so as far as aspects, Weeper's Call. On Riftcast, the Warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs, which hatch into threadlings when they hit a surface. Any perched threadlings are converted to additional eggs. Another one is Mind Spun Invocation. This aspect improves several of the Warlock's abilities. We don't exactly know what that means yet. Then Grapple. When you execute a grapple melee, the Warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs from the target. Then Threadling Grenade. You can consume your Threadling Grenade to generate a full complement of perched threadlings. And then there's Shackle Grenade. You can consume your Shackle Grenade to gain a buff, creating a suspending detonation on every kill. Alright, the Warlock's telekinetic abilities culminate within their super, Needle Storm, a deadly combination of burst damage and area denial. On cast, the Warlock conjures strand matter into a fusillade of hardened spikes, launching them forward with a wave of the hand. The missiles will stick into enemies and the environment alike before detonating and reweaving themselves into an army of threadlings that will hunt down any survivors. Ooh wee. Alright, let's move right along into that Hunter. So the Hunter Thread Runner. While every Strand Guardian class will have access to the grapple and the array of mobility options it brings, the Hunter takes movement and speed to an entirely new level. From attacking multiple enemies at once while in mid-air, to using a new rope dart weapon that benefits from maximum agility. Oh boy, that's gonna be a problem. The Thread Runner's melee attack, Threaded Spike, has the Hunter hurling out a rope dart that bounces between enemies, damaging and severing them before returning to the Hunter. Upon its return, it grants melee energy for each enemy hit. Hunters can catch the rope dart by pressing the melee input button at the right time. This is like some Gears of War stuff right here. Listen. Perfecting that timing will earn the player an additional amount of melee energy. 2 strand aspects will be available for hunters. Ensnaring Slam. While in the air, press the air move input to slam downward, suspending all nearby enemies. And Widow's Silk. This aspect grants an additional grenade charge. The Hunter's grapple ability creates a persistent grapple tangle when it latches, which fully refunds grenade energy when grappled to. Hunters can use this ability to set up chains of grapple points that entire team can use, greatly enhancing their ability to quickly move around in combat and or traverse the environment. Alright, moving down. The lethal combination of grapple and rope dart converge with the Thread Runner's super, Silk Strike. When activated, the hunters use their grapple to freely move through the world in third-person view, while also throwing their while also throwing their rope dart to strike down enemies. Hunters will be able to use grapple more often during the super, and the rope dart features both a light and heavy attack. The light attack is meant for single opponents and can be used in air and on the ground. When on the ground, the hunter can chain attack seamlessly. Hitting an enemy with the tip of the dart deals bonus damage, and defeating an enemy with it causes the enemy to explode. The heavy attack has the hunter swing the rope dart around in a 360-degree arc, damaging all nearby enemies. As with the light attack, this can be used on the ground or in the air. And last but definitely not least, the Titan Berserker. Alright, the Titan Strand melee ability is Frenzied Blade. With a press of the melee button, the Titan dashes forward and slashes at enemies with their strand arm blades, severing victims and decreasing their damage output. With a default set of 3 charges, Titans can chain these slashes together for maximum offensive power. Titans will also have 2 aspects. Into the Fray. Destroying a tangle weaves woven mail onto the Titan and nearby allies. In addition to reducing damage taken, this aspect also increases the Titan's melee energy regeneration while wearing woven mail. And Dranger's Lash, I probably messed that up, y'all let me know. When the Titan casts their ability, the Titan will blast forward a powerful ripple in reality, suspending enemies that are caught in the shockwave's path. Alright, the Titan Berserker's super, Blade Fury, sees the Titan dual-wielding fist blades and roaming the battlefield with ill intent. The super's light attack is a supercharged version of the Frenzy Blade attack, and each light attack that connects increases the next attack speed, which tops out after a maximum of 3 hits. In addition, connecting with light attacks also builds energy for the super's heavy attack with each hit. With the heavy attack, the Titan hurls a pair of projectiles forward that seeks out enemies, suspending and damaging them on impact. Elsewhere, Strand will see 3 new grenades for everybody, including Grapple, which is controlled with the grenade button. The Threadling Grenade splits into 3 projectiles that weave into threadlings upon impact. The Shackle Grenade effectively acts as a baller, detonating in a suspending blast and sending out smaller secondary ballers to suspend nearby enemies. Finally, they say, it wouldn't be a new elemental power in Destiny 2 without fragments. So here's the fragments. Thread of Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon and grants increased weapon handling and airborne effectiveness for a short time. Thread of Fury. Damaging targets with a tangle grants melee energy. Thread of Finality. Finishers generate threadlings. and threat of warding. Picking up an orb power grants, or orb of power, excuse me, grants woven mail. They say these are just a few of the fragments, not all of them. But man, ooh, that's a lot of info. What did y'all think of each super? Y'all happy with the Titan super? Because at first I was looking at it and I'm like, is that too similar to like the basic arc one, you know? But I'm probably wrong here. I'm sure with the projectile stuff it's going to be different. That's just things going on in my head. Please tell me what y'all think about all of this in the comments. Please drop a like, a sub, notification bell. All the support helps. Hope I saved y'all some time. And I'm out.